Colleagues, I welcome you to today's sitting.
On Tuesday, 6th December 2022, legislators called on government to ensure that electricity access across the country is improved for the benefit of Ugandans in different sectors of the economy. This followed a report tabled by the House Committee on Environment and Natural Resources relating to the erratic electricity supply in West Nile.
The long-term solution is the completion of the Kole Gulu Nebi Arua transmission project, which connects West Nile to high-voltage electricity backbone transmission infrastructure by March 2023.
West Nile is going to have excess energy because Nyagak 3 is also in course, and as the chair highlighted, we actually need money to complete Nyagak 3.
The nearness of West Nile to South Sudan, to Congo, provides reliable development opportunities. And we can only realize these opportunities when there is reliable industrial power in West Nile.
I would like to propose that the Ministry of Energy comes here in Parliament with a profile of each district and how electricity coverage is per district.
If it was in my powers, I would even connect that power for free to everyone. Reason being, in just 1-2 years, you would have recouped this money.
In the same sitting, a statement by the Ethics and Integrity Minister, Honorable Rose Lily Akello, highlighted the plight of anti-graft agencies, which are struggling to force corrupt officials to drop their loot. The minister's statement was in readiness for the celebrations of the Anti-Corruption Day on Friday, 9th December 2022.
The Inspectorate of Government investigated 26 high-profile cases and directed the recovery of Uganda shillings 18.2 billion from public officers who misused public funds. Uganda shillings 7.2 billion has so far been recovered and paid into the Inspectorate Asset Recovery Account. The theme for this year's anti-corruption campaign is "Citizens must hone their war to eliminate corruption. It is their war." The objective is to make the war against corruption a people's war rather than a government war.
While my colleague, the Minister for Ethics, indicated a budget of 452.2 million for the purpose of commemorating the International Anti-Corruption Day, and whereas such monies exclude funds spent by individual ministries and agencies to fuel and transport their officials to the function, we request for rethink so that this money can be rechanneled to victims of corruption. The victims of corruption are mothers who died during childbirth.
At the same sitting, members of Parliament expressed dissatisfaction with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for failing to implement the House's resolution to allow local governments to spend local revenue at source.
In order to implement the parliamentary resolution, Section 29 and other sections of the PFMA would have to be amended to specifically allow local governments not to remit local revenues to the consolidated fund and spend the funds at source.
Both the Constitution and the Local Government Act have authorized the local governments to actually collect and use money. Now, what is happening, with due respect to the minister, is that it is government violating the law. There is no legal impediment.
The role of decentralization is to empower the lower units to live to the aspiration of their voters, and that they be a true reflection of what we are at national level, so that they can account to their people, reduce the burden from us, so that we don't become the center of all burden.
Some local governments were understating the budgets for local revenue. And once this happens and they collect more, in order for them to access this excess local revenue, they require a budget, and the supplementary budget has been coming late.
On Wednesday, 7th December 2022, Parliament passed a motion that could see the Minister of State for Housing, Honorable Persis Namuganza, censured for derogatory remarks and disrespectful conduct. Following investigations, the Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline found Namuganza to have specifically insulted the leadership of Parliament for instituting an ad hoc committee to investigate her over the Naguru Nakawa land allocations. It was alleged that Namuganza also took to social media and television, questioning the operations, powers and integrity of the presiding officers of Parliament to form ad hoc committees.
Let me, on behalf of government, request my sister. It costs nothing. It costs nothing. We don't need to drag this house in this. Can you please stand up and apologize?
Right, Honorable. And honorable members, if I hurt you in any way, I regret.
Censure is provided for in our laws. I pray that as we support this, we move an amendment to move from the use of the single word censure to say a censure process.
We have a second motion which says we adopt the report of the committee as amended. Yes. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. Aye. The ayes have it. Yes. So whoever will start on the process, please.
In the same sitting, Parliament made calls for the sensitization of traders before the full implementation of the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing system.
CACITA agrees that EFRIS is a very useful tool that traders need to embrace. However, they note that this is a very scientific tool that traders need to be sensitized about before enforcement and compliance and complete rollout is undertaken. This would enable traders to appreciate, embrace, and utilize it in their day-to-day business transactions.
I think this is one of the most innovative systems that the URA has undertaken to broaden our tax base and to allow the loopholes in tax collections to be closed.
The machines, they are too expensive. 20 million is too expensive for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And even when you read the report, it talks about the 100 million when you don't install this machine.
I pray that if it's possible, let government procure these machines and basically install them for the people.
On Thursday, 8th December 2022, government was urged to carry out extensive restructuring and pay reforms in the Ministry of Public Service in a bid to streamline salaries of public servants. This arose against the backdrop of the debate of the report of the Committee on Public Service and Local Government on the petition on salary enhancement and discrepancies for nurses and interns.
Right Honorable, recently we talked about Salary Review Commission. I don't know how far it has gone to form the Salary Review Commission in this country. It's not only health workers crying, other people are also crying.
Some local governments have decided to continue paying these workers according to the old wage bill because that is what is being released to them.
We enhanced all salaries for scientists across board, including the nurses.
There has also been a system problem because some of them have received the enhanced salary, but others have not. But they have also been updated now, and everybody will get their salary enhanced.
House adjourned to Tuesday at 2 p.m.